Yes, exactly.
Will you please make sure that you influence your company to do that? If your company does not have a foundation or a scheme
But
like
you obviously
that,
must say, I mean, the first priority must be, or is that an assumption that they obviously say, look, I mean, these guys have educated me, you know, and they even have a position for me to go and work. Don't you like say, you know, or don't you
morally
influence
that is what's that's what's expected of them.
Yes,
Morally, yes.
yes.
But you see, Jimmy,
Yeah.
you cannot force somebody. If these people, if these children, if these guys that you are going to give the scholarships, for instance, in the university, are going to go through the education and then they have a feeling like, yes, I want to go and work with the Earth River Mining. This has been a good family that has taken care of me financially, mentally, emotionally, then they'll get back to us. Absolutely. But if they have a feeling they don't, we cannot force them.
I see what you mean.
Yeah.
Let's go back in terms of how you then not recruit really, how you're able to identify the children who qualify to be given scholarship by the Rhino Cement Foundation. How does that work, and how wide is your network? You know, 1,800 employees. You're all over the country, so to speak. What is the process like?
The process is, for instance, if I gave you an example how we recruited the girls that we paid for school fees, we put an advert on paper, over the radio, and then we received applications. We also dropped our forms for this scholarship, where our distributors are over the country for our Rhino Cement. These forms were filled, we advertised through schools, so we got the applications.
Wow.
And then we sat down through the Rhino Cement Foundation trustees. We sat down, we went through the forms, we were able to evaluate and to rank them. And once that is done, that does not end there. We have to make sure that we visit the homes of these children to ascertain, to make sure, to meet the chief, so that they can give us a bit of a background, to make sure that whoever gets this scholarship is really a deserving case. What we want to do with the university students is, now we have put up the adverts. The university students are applying in those disciplines. We are giving them 1 month between now and the end of this month to do the applications. The whole of next month we shall be evaluating. We want to give ourselves enough time so that we don't do it in a rush. So we'll be able to evaluate the whole of next month. So come towards the end of probably in fact we are giving them the applications will run until end of May. Now from 1st June to the end of June we shall be evaluating and ranking. Then end of June we shall have awarded the scholarships.
Well done.
So that in July the students know who they are, they have gotten the scholarships, we have taken them through our orientation process, they understand who we are, they understand what we stand for, and therefore they can be able to start their university education.
I see.
And we're giving full scholarship.
Wow.
Tuition fees, accommodation, food, everything. We are imagining that we are going to pick a student who does not have parents, who does not even have a home, probably an IDP.
I see.
You see?
Yes.
That's
yes.
That's what we're trying to imagine.
So you started this last year, the Rhino Cement Foundation last year.
Yes.
So currently you have, let's say, 10 students plus now. How many universities that you will determine later?
We shall be taking the students who are going to study, who have admission to public universities. Now this is the first time, because the first university, I think the admission is probably next month in May.
Right.
So these are the first batch of students that we are going to have in university. But in the past, how we have done it before the Rhino Cement Foundation is that in those areas where we operate, in Kaloleni in Mombasa, we have a site in Earth River, in Kajiado. We have picked a number of students, primary, secondary. So we have been having so many to sponsor. But this time, we want to document.
I see.
We are sponsoring you and where are you.
I see what you mean.
Yeah.
What does the future hold in terms of numbers? Because you are obviously competing with something called the, I think it's a constituency bursary fund. I don't know what its existence will be in the new government structure. But you've got something parallel happening. And of course, yours is more attractive because it's a full-scale scholarship. What are you looking for? What will happen in terms of in the next 5 years, where you have a bigger number of people, of course, some that you've already, like now, the ones who are there, the 10 that you're sponsoring now, will still be there in terms of the third year or the fourth year. When the numbers grow bigger, how will you manage that? Because they will grow bigger.
That is true. Our projection is that this is an expanding foundation.
Yes.
We have started on a very small scale.
And you're
To us,
saying
this
it is
very
all of
small.
it is coming from the Rhino Cement Foundation. No
Division.
outside, exact.
No.
Rhino Cement Division.
Yes.
No outsider whatsoever.
Yes, probably because I've indicated that Earth River Mining is a company with a number of divisions.
And it's growing.
Probably next time, well, probably in the next 5-10 years, we discover now we have too much. We may have to expand this to other divisions of the company. Like Mavuno Fertilizer,
yes.
We will say now we are portioning you a number of these students from your profits. Please pay school fees for this, take care of this environment, or you can be able to construct a dispensary in one rural place, something like that. So we have started from the cement division, the Rhino cement division, but we want to expand this in future. We are also talking about 30 million shillings probably this year, but who knows, next year.
So you're focusing more on education. One of the pillars is education.
One of the pillars is education.
You haven't done anything in terms of environmental health yet.
We have done a lot. Let me give you an example. The Rhino at the Ngong Road Sanctuary, we are employing a full-time teacher to be there. When people go there to learn one or two things, there should be somebody to take them around. We shall be paying that teacher salary. We have established a forest in Mombasa, Kaloleni, where we operate. 100,000 trees every year. We sponsor tree planting activities. Mavoko municipality is one of them. So these are activities that we do all over the country. We have sponsored the construction of dispensaries and health centers, laboratories, so the medical camps every year. So these are activities that we
are
do
ongoing already.
Every year and ongoing. So it's only that this time we are going to upscale. This time, members of staff have got to sit down as Earth River Mining family and say, I have this project from my area, and I think it can be evaluated. We evaluate and we agree, yes, let us have one from Mombasa, let us have one from Budalangi, let us have one from Kajiado, so that at the end of the day, we have a representative sample of what you're doing all over the country.
I see what you mean. Yeah. What impact has this had in terms of your employees? Because I know one of your principles, leadership, value, compliance, communication, as part of your very strong values as a company. What has this done in terms of empowering or expanding the principles that you have as a company?
This has brought the members of staff really together. Like, you know, Jimmy, sometimes you have a job that you consider to be a very small job. But wait until you see the suffering of somebody else. Like when we were going through the forms of the girls that we were picking for the high school scholarship, you could shed tears. You go through the form, this girl says, I don't have a father, I don't know who my father was, I don't have a mother, I don't even know who my mother was, I've been staying with my grandmother who does not have anything. And then we decide, well, this looks like fiction. Can we visit? So we decide to visit. The situation we get on the ground is worse than that. So this has been an eye-opener to members of staff, that yes, you have a small job, but that small job you have is really crucial for you, and you're doing much better than many other Kenyans in this country. And this is, we also want to eliminate the culture of saying, oh, the government has to do for me something, the government has to do ABCD. No, it is also our responsibility to do what we can if we are able to do. So it has brought the members of staff together. The members of staff have been able to open their eyes. They know the suffering of of people in this country, especially the young people.
I see what you
mean. So they understand.
It's a very close-knit endeavor. But how then does the public, as a final question, how then does the public become involved? For example, if I know of a school or a project or a family that needs assistance, can I then forward that to you? Or is it primarily
the Rhino Cement Foundation is for Kenyans. It's for all of us. Many of the requests that we receive are not even from the members of staff. Like when we sponsor the students and the girls, we always indicate that we do not want members of staff to be involved, especially when sponsoring individual students for education. But when it comes to projects now in society, building a dispensary, we can be able to get ideas from members of staff, then we can sit together as a foundation, we can go and evaluate, we can go and visit, have a couple of meetings, and then come up with a solution, and then come up with, this is what we need to do. But when it comes to sponsorship of students in college, in universities, and in high school, we get requests from members of the public. Like we receive calls every day. hey, this is Rhino Cement Foundation. I've got some, my neighbor, there's this student who sat for KCPE last year.
Did very well.
A bright girl, cannot go anywhere. Even the guardian does not even know that you exist. I'm just calling as a neighbor. We got many students through that kind of communication. So we are encouraging the public to come to us.
Absolutely.
It doesn't have to be your daughter. It doesn't have to be your relative. If you see somebody suffering somewhere, intervene. That intervention would be what is needed.
I see what you mean. Wow, Bwana Julius Ebiche, thank you very much, and all the best in your endeavors. As he said, Athi River Mining is a huge company in terms of access. If you want to find out where they are in terms of communication, of course you have a website. But is there a number? I mean, they easily can be gotten.
Give them the
yes.
contacts.
What are the contacts if they want to call?
Yeah, our Facebook page is Rhino Cement Foundation, especially for the university students who want to apply now.
Right.
They can download the form. They can get all the information on our Facebook page, Rhino Cement Foundation. Our number is 0721 582 369. 0721 582 369. Those are our contacts, because I know many students, especially those who are joining university now, want to get our contacts so that they can be able to apply.
Well
Thank you.
Well done, Julius. Well done. We've been flashing also the Elgon Kenya Limited number. I hope you've written the contacts. If you've forgotten Bimal's email is bimal@elgonKenya.com. Make sure you get in touch with them. And of course, if you're a fanatic of Facebook, who isn't? It's a Rhino Cement Foundation Facebook page. Go look for it and begin to get in touch with Athi River Mining or the Rhino Cement Foundation in terms of the opportunities that are available to be able to follow your dreams and make them a reality.